Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. Now, in the whole age of sci-fi movies, there's a lot of options out there, from movies to shows, you name it. However, I really feel like there's really not that many good sci-fi movies, and even less great sci-fi movies. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the sci-fi movies that we see nowadays, it's basically just cookie cutter, and they really don't try to go outside of the whole thing of special effects, big budgets, and so forth. That's normally what people think about when they think about sci-fi movies. But every now and then you'll find a sci-fi movie that really goes beyond that, and it focuses on what's great about sci-fi is taking elements that are not there yet or ideas, and then it makes you question those things. And that's what I really enjoyed about this movie called Infinity Chamber. This movie was formerly called Somnio, and it came out in 2016, and now it's actually been released on places like Netflix and Amazon. And I'd have to say this is one of those movies that you can safely say it's a really good sci-fi movie. You know, the ones that you will remember, the ones that you will watch over and over again. And so I'm going to try not to leave any type of spoilers, because this is a movie that you should definitely watch and think about, because it's more of those thinking type sci-fi movies. And if I had to choose like a genre or a type of movie that this is similar to, it's similar to a whole bunch of different type of movies. The first being something like Inception. Okay, if you think about Inception, there's a lot of mental things going on in there, and that's very similar to it. Another movie that would make you think about this is 2001: A Space Odyssey, specifically with the AI that's in this movie. Another movie is definitely The Matrix. And then finally, I would say there's elements of Groundhog's Day in here as well. And I know that sounds weird, but that's actually what it is in here when you actually watch it. And so the whole movie centers on one main human character. His name is Frank. And then an artificial intelligent character named Howard. Now, there are other human characters in here as well, but they're not really as real as you might think they are, okay? And whenever the movie opens, as you probably saw right there, the main character gets shot. And then he wakes up in this chamber, or prison, if you want to call it that, and he is being processed. Okay, now, other movies have tried this before, where you're in an isolated place and you really don't know what's going on. But the way in which Infinity Chamber does it, it does it in a way where you want to know what's going on, like further. Okay, I don't know how to explain that. It's not just simply him being isolated. And then the whole dialogue between Frank and this AI Howard, it reminds me so much of Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's why I enjoyed it so much. And they have this really funny banter back and forth. And then as you're watching this movie, it goes back between scenes of this Infinity Chamber and other scenes in reality, or supposed reality. And every time it shows these different scenes, you get a little bit more about what this story is about, and why Frank is where he is, and why Howard is here, and then why all the other characters are here as well. But the thing that Infinity Chamber does all the time is that it keeps you guessing. It keeps you questioning. It keeps you wondering. And once again, that is a mark of a really good to great sci-fi movie. So if you would watch this again, you still wouldn't get all the answers. That's what I like about it. It didn't tell you exactly what's going on. And even when you think you know what's going on, it leaves elements that would suggest that maybe your thought's not correct. Okay? But then there are also some parts where you just get lost into it. And now whatever is being shown to you, you accept that as whatever the reality is. Okay? And so it's very similar to like Inception. But I would say it's more realistic and grounded in the way that it's shown. Now, other elements of this film that I enjoyed was actually just the acting by this main actor, who plays Frank. He does a really good job of just going back and forth with this AI, and the actor that actually plays Howard, the voice actor, excellent, because they have this really funny banter and dialogue. And even later on, when Frank meets another very important character, she plays an important role as well. And so overall, it's hard for me not to go into too much about this movie without you watching it, and then without me spoiling it. But it's one of those movies that after you watch it, you think about what you just saw. You think about the whole idea of technology along with reality. Okay, you also think about the whole idea of what it truly means to be a human. What it truly means to have memories as a human. And so the whole title, Infinity Chamber, is truly a great title for this movie because the possibilities and thoughts with this movie, it is infinite. Much like many of the other really great sci-fi movies that you've seen before. So if you have not seen Infinity Chamber, it is available on Netflix and Amazon. Go check it out. Definitely one of the best sci-fi movies I've seen in a long time. And also a movie that you will be talking about with a lot of other people who are into this type of genre. And so if you have seen this movie, let me know some of your thoughts. Leave it in the comments area below. And so as always, if you did enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.